everybody. Just going to hit record here.
So weird to go live.
Everybody.
Let's fix it. So weird to go live by myself, but here I am. I've decided to go live, and there's a lot of different stuff happening in our fields, and it's been a bit challenging for a lot of us, for many of us. We're really seeing a big shift in people's personalities, and just everything that's happening in the world today that has left a lot of you afraid and confused, and kind of some of the information that I'm hearing from people is that they are feeling rather helpless, and I don't want people to feel helpless. uh, we're going to be going through this time, pretty typical to go through this time where there are these things that happen inside of us that is kind of reminds me of a flower or a garden that needs to turn over. Uh, we pick off the dead leaves, or do what did my mom called deadheading the flowers. And it seems like we're in a space for this right now, and this space has been challenging for most of us. There's a lot of decisions that need to be made, and there are a lot of people that are being faced with, the loss of jobs and the loss of security. And we're being faced with this for those of us that are choosing not to line up for regular mandates and other things that are happening in the field, because it's not in alignment with who and what we are, what we stand for. When we hold the light inside of us, it is actually really very uncomfortable to be given an ultimatum and to make decisions that are being forced upon us are, in my personal opinion, it's tyranny. And it's spiritual abuse. And I used to have a really hard time saying that, just mentioning the word God. And, for those of you that either take classes with me or have followed some of the chatting I do, whether it be on Sundays or with Colin, or perhaps when I did the Sovereign Triad talks with the girls, my religion had really set me back from understanding who and what God truly was. Yes. Hello, Judy. So much happening. So much happening. I'm happy to answer questions for people that pop on to help bring ease and comfort. Part of what has been in our realm of life, the way that we've just been being, has been these expressions of self that are in lower vibration. Some people call them the lower chakras or the negative ego. Some people call it the shadow selves. It really doesn't matter what you call it, but it's just been a captured aspect of self that has been controlled, manipulated, and taken over. And so for those of us that are living outside of that, or that are shedding that rather, we're finding it more challenging to make decisions, because we're really confused. There's a lot of confusion. Yes, lots of division happening. There's division in families. So our loved ones are being separated from us. And that's been really very challenging to witness. And so I get emotional for the collective, because I know how hard it is, and I know and see and feel how much people are trying, and they're all trying to make really good decisions and good choices. So the first thing that I want to say is no matter what choice you make, whether to get the or not, and whether to walk away from your livelihood, something that you've done for a long time. Uh, those are all choices that you're making in the moment. And we always want to be in a space where we're present in every moment. That's the most important thing to remember right now is to be present in the moment, not in the past, not in the future, but in the moment. Oh, Judy, I know it's so challenging. Like we've had divisions in our family, and I've had a couple of my children, a couple of my girls have decided to get the thing, and by their own accord, even with tons of information, scientific information, as well as intuitive information. And there's really not a lot we can do. And there are times that I wanted to be really angry and really upset. And if I allow that to take over my spirit, if I allow that to dim my light, then I'm no good for them and I'm no good for other people. I'm no good for myself. And I have to remember that. And so I honor their decision and I honor everyone's decisions, no matter what they are. And we can just pray for the greater good of humanity and know that a lot of people have made their choices prior to what's happening in the moment now. They knew they weren't going to go through the end of this cycle or the end of this spiritual battle. And so this has been a battle. I call it it's the battle against human and anti-human, or the battle against Christ and the Antichrist. So back to my religion, I had a hard time saying God, and at this point, I have no issues using the word God. You can use universe, higher source, spiritual connection, whatever. But the bottom line is it's God, and it's the light inside of us. It's the Christ light inside of us. Um, and it is it is within our own authority to claim back our God-given sovereignty. We are God sovereign beings. We're designed to be God sovereign beings. And beyond that, we're sovereign cosmic beings. And we've been so separated from God and so separated from our heart that this particular uh, end of plan has been designed for many of us to fall further away from our heart, further away from our heart center, and uh, and further into the death culture, further into the antichrist structures. Um, I think that in one of our chats, I mentioned, I know in class I talk about this a lot. We talk about something called an AI red cube technology. It's an AI Nile cube. And I really believe that this is something that's not talked about in the public. For those of you who follow any of uh, Lisa Renee's work or Ascension Glossary stuff, she's with energeticsynthesis.com. You can find her blogs and you can purchase a lot of her meditations and classes and whatnot. My intuitive um, uh, cellular knowledge is in alignment with everyone who is also in alignment with Christ consciousness, 100% pure Christ consciousness. And so, because we are one and we are all of one consciousness of one mind, then we all have information that is the same. We have information that comes in, sometimes different pieces of it, and we all come together to share as much as we can. And one of the things that has been coming to my awareness more and more, and it's been taking me through the ley lines, and I see this in session work a lot, is a lot to do with this AI technology. So even a lot of the demonics and a lot of the entities, these beings, a lot of our structure, governmental structures, religious structures, school structures, they've all been uploaded into an AI construct. And what's most fascinating about this is on this particular AI construct, I started to see be implemented all the way back during the Atlantean timelines. And so we're finding it go all the way back here. And it's got different levels to it. And what I'm seeing is that when people are getting the thing here, they automatically hook up to that. And what I've been seeing, and I know that I've said this before, as have many other seers and people that are intuiting this information, is the soul is being knocked out of the body. Now, I will say that I did see some really good news. I have seen some really strong star seeds who have had two of these. And I have seen light fiber, like a light fiber connected to the soul. And this has been really promising because I believe that there is going to be some hope for more people than we had expected, um, although not everybody. So that makes me feel really happy. But um, there's been so much spiritual abuse and so much separation from God on this planet that most people are falling for this agenda. People are falling for the lies, the betrayal. And what's most interesting is because some of this tech that is like wrapped up into our body, remember, our bodies are biocomputers. We're multidimensional um, electromagnetic beings. Okay, we have a feminine side, our left side, and an electric side, our right side. So we have uh, thoughts are electric and uh, uh, mag. I won't get into that. We'll get into the science later, but just know that we are electromagnetic, multidimensional beings, and that our consciousness has been usurped for a really long time. And so we're trying to break out of this um, death culture, out of these societal constructs that we've just been enmeshed in. And with that, it's created a spiritual abuse when religion was implemented. This is all my personal opinion, as well as my own personal experiences, on top of seeing things in the field in session work as well as in the ley lines. And so these constructs are beginning to break down. And the ones that have had the thing are getting more and more disillusioned. And this isn't me being mean, this is just me pointing out facts that I've actually factually witnessed. And they're getting further and further from having any type of coherent, uh, I don't even know how to explain it. When their body is able to be used as it, when it turns into an open vessel, and anything can jump in and out of it, it's not even about what are you letting in anymore and how are you controlling your own spiritual body, because you can't. You've already given consent for these other energies, entities, and essences to be in your vessel. And so this is some of the disillusionment, some of the strangeness that we're currently witnessing, and many of us are watching our friends and family uh, with vacant stares, with their mouth open, not be able to respond as quickly as normal, have fits of rage and confusion, as well as really set in the ways of you can tell and feel that the programming is really anchored in, and I find that extremely unfortunate. Uh, and I'm just going to tell it like it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and turn it into a little like frosted donut because it's not sweet, it's not pretty, and we're kind of headed in for some uh, challenging times. So, in order to really connect into um, being of in the moment, when we're in the moment, we have access to God consciousness, and we have access into what it's like to open up our heart and really open up to God, really open up to our teams and our families that are here to help us. And so many of us that are still of clear heart and mind are able to uh, move at a quicker rate in the ascension process. We're in an accelerated rate. And so things are spinning open and happening much, much faster. And it has to be this way. So information is coming in right now very quickly because the timelines are blending. So we're seeing a mesh of all these different timelines from wars that perhaps many of us have lived in this timeline, but as well as past Earth traumas and wars and galactic. So these are all meshing together, and it's really causing confusion, and it's challenging for people to discern what is real and what is not real. And even if they're not having visions or visuals of this, they're having cellular sensations. And so this is creating a lot of emotions and a disconnection from the emotion. Yeah, we haven't seen anything yet. That's true. It's like the next, this fall is going to be a really big turnaround, and it's going to be, we're really we're really shifting, and it's going to be really important to be in alignment with truth. When we're in alignment with truth, we're in alignment with God. We're in alignment with Spirit, and this will be the only thing that is going to support the reality. The only thing that's going to support reality is to align yourself with truth. Now, the truth is going to upset people. It's already upsetting people because it's being exposed at a rapid rate. And even when truth is presented, for many people, they still can't see it. And that's okay. We're just going to keep leading them towards being in alignment with truth and keep lining yourself up with truth. Ask every day to stand in truth, to stand in the power of truth, and to what does that mean? What does that mean to you? How does that feel to you? What do you need to do to make adjustments? Do you need to find a new job? Do you need to move? Do you need to assess what's going on around you? Um, there's a lot of things that maybe need to be renegotiated. But this is kind of silly, but there are some things that we can do that are just small baby steps uh, that can get you into the practice of being in truth. And that is like cleaning out your closet or your cupboard. Get rid of foods that have an expiration date that have passed, clothes that you don't wear anymore. Uh, Hold things, and if they make you feel really happy, keep those things. Things that don't make you feel anything, put it in a pile to think about it. I know that sounds really silly, but these are just a couple little practices that you can do to begin to understand what it's like to align yourself with truth, to be able to stand up stronger when you're faced with moral choices, values, and um, virtue-based ethics. Okay, so we really want to focus on developing what are what are your truths, what are the truths around you, and are they in alignment? A truth is a truth no matter what. The more that we are connecting ourselves into truth and the more we are standing in that light, the closer we are to God, to our God's sovereign freedom. And the stronger we are in the physical body, the stronger we are in our character, and the stronger we are to face what's going to be coming. So I think I posted this not too long ago, and so many people, I forgot who said it, and I wish that I had attributed to the person, but somebody had said, I'd rather die standing on my feet than survive on my knees. And that is exactly what we're facing right now. And so what's happening with the AI technology and the separation from God's source is a control on our consciousness mind. It's a control over the mind. So with this control over timelines, they've lost control over the timelines, which has always been a spiritual war and a war over timelines. That's what all of this is about. That's what this entire reality is about. And we're all about really getting back to who is God, what is sovereignty, how do we get there? And who are the bad guys? The bad guys are, unfortunately, I'm just going to call them out. It's our government, it's our military, our religion, our schools, and our pharmaceutical or healthcare system. Okay, I'm not saying everybody in these systems are bad people. Most of them aren't. Most of them aren't, but so many of them are indoctrinated into the system that has a different set of rules that is a mind control basis. And so we need to understand that um, the powers that be are extremely deceitful. They're liars. Fear is a liar, and many of us are living in fear. And that's what they want to do. This particular illness that's going around is has an AI frequency. That AI frequency connects on to fear. It can smell it, like they say a dog can smell fear. This connects to fear, shame, guilt, sadness, worry, anything. There's nothing wrong with these emotions, but to stay in these emotions, you're going to collect a shit ton of stuff you don't want. And it's going to be harder and harder to get up and out of the pit and stand in sovereignty, stand in your light, and be in the moment. If you're in the moment, you're in 0 points. When you're in the moment, you're undetected there. It's a safe zone. Find it and be in it. Ask for help. Okay. Always choose harmlessness. Walk away from fights and arguments. Most of them you can't win because you can't make sense of people that aren't making sense. They're not in alignment with truth, and they're not able to understand the truth or hear the truth. So don't waste your breath. Continue on to help the next person that's looking for you, that's waiting for you. Anytime we're struggling, you reach out to somebody who has a little bit more strength than you. You can find groups of people that are working together to create safety zones or safety nets that are spiritually comfortable, that you feel in alignment with, and talk to these people, learn together, and support each other. And where you can, of course, help those up that you can, that want your help. Don't waste your time helping those that don't want your help, because there are more that are going to need your help. We are in a time of, we don't really have time to work and focus on a lot more of this, like making someone understand or pay attention to what you want to say to get them out of that. We're past that time. And so it's really time to move into helping those that are saying, hey, I'm over here, help me. Let's see, page in April 2022, I gave a public talk where I shared that this CB has the same frequency of 911. It's actually been proven. Yeah. Wow, that's cool. 2021, do you mean 2021? Although it wouldn't surprise me if it was 2022, because the timelines are so funny. But yeah, absolutely. It is the frequency of fear, of panic, of this is an emergency. And like I said, that's what it's attaching to. So we sit in prayer or meditation. If you pray, pray. If you meditate, meditate. If you don't, there's no special way to do this. There's no difference from taking your shoes off and walking on the grass in your bare feet, or standing in the ocean. That is as simple as meditation and prayer. Taking a hike, standing on top of a mountain, sitting at the base of a tree. That's prayer and meditation. It doesn't have to be lighting candles, saying chants, holding your hands a certain way, doing a pose. Forget it. Forget it. You go in and you say, please open my crystal heart. I ask to be centered. I'm asking for help. I ask for divine presence to be within me and around me. You don't have to do fancy things. Okay. Keep it simple, because simple is where it's going to happen. One little baby step at a time, which is huge. So if you're running into fears, you're getting panic attacks. Uh-oh, you can't hear me. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Let's wait. I'll just wait and pause for a second. Um, Sometimes, with these things, you're welcome. Sometimes we get blocked, which is fine by me. I don't mind. I'll just keep on going and work through another way and another attitude. So with fear, panic attacks, anxiety, these frequencies bring doubt. We begin to not believe in ourselves. And if there's any time better than any time, now is the time to believe in yourself and uh, believe in God, believe in a higher power, believe that the universe has your back, and that we're going to make it through this. Like I said, this is going to be, there's going to be some challenging times. So every morning, if you're not waking up every morning in gratitude and in a place of love and connectiveness, it's okay. Start now. Wake up and say, thank you for the breath that I have today. Thank you for the sun shining. Be grateful for any one thing, and and begin to infuse yourself, excuse me, with the frequency of love. And that's the frequency. Invite it in, even if you don't know what that feels like. Even if you think you know what it feels like, ask for true love to come in and keep making it work. We want to connect into our high heart center. This is right where your thymus gland is. Thalamus, I was in the brain. This is where your thymus gland is. This is your high heart center. So many high hearts are activating, which is absolutely fantastic. And for those of you who uh, want to go beyond opening up your high heart, just focus this energy. Just focus that this eighth chakra is opening up. Imagine that you're clearing any traumas. There's a lot of traumas that come out of the eighth dimension, and we're just going to ask that they be healed, that you see them, that they come out, or you feel them, and you heal them with love and respect and kindness and gratitude, and begin to feel that when this begins to open up, really our mind is going to open up differently. We have a chakra in the back of our head. Here is, some people call it the mouth of God. Some people just call it the ninth chakra. It's just happens to be where it is. And when these two open up, they create what's called a heart-brain connection. So we begin to then move out of the mental fields, which many of us are trapped in, and we move into the emotional fields, or feeling not heart emotion, not fourth chakra, not that astral realm, love and connection, but that high heart God connection. Okay, and when we open that mouth of God and we have that high heart God connection, it creates a silver and gold infinity symbol. Okay. And you may begin to feel this connecting, and this is really going to open you up. This is going to be where we can feel, think, we can hold center, we can hold grounded when we're thinking more clearly, and have these pieces of ourselves working. And remember, we're multidimensional electromagnetic beings. And so we control our thoughts and our emotions. Nobody gets to. Okay, the cabal, the government, the religious people, structures, the schools. Look what's going on in schools. I know I'm in the fight. I still have kids in school. And so I get it. It's very challenging. And it's time to teach your children how to stand in their own sovereignty and have consent as well. For some of them, they're a little more indoctrinated, so it's a little bit more challenging. Ask that all anti-God or anti-Christ frequencies leave your field every morning. Wake up and say, I stand in my sovereignty, and I ask that I am in right relationship with my God self. I am in right relationship with Christ, the Christ that's rising in each of us. Okay, we want to get rid of these anti-human or anti-Christic resonance that's all around us, that's in our planet. And more grid workers are coming online, which is amazing. So we're getting a lot of work done. And, we just need more people to start shifting and moving into understanding where they're needed. So know where your battle is. Okay. Are you just meant to do things at home, clean out your closet? That's huge. It doesn't matter if you think that sounds silly. It's huge, because you're cleaning out your inner self. Are you supposed to be standing on the corners and going to rallies? Okay, is that your fight? Is your fight writing letters to your governor? Okay, is your fight helping people get AI technology out of their body? Is it working in the ley lines? Ask God, where do I belong? Okay, and follow your heart, follow your soul, listen to your spiritual expression. Okay, right now we're in a fast pace of connecting physical soul and oversoul. So this is um, a really big transformation. We're in a really big time. So remember, right relationship with self and right relationship to God's source, however that looks to you, and being in the moment. Okay, well, I guess that's it for my live. I just wanted to pop on, and there's so much more I can say and so much more I can talk on, but I just want to let everybody know that I honor you and I love you each. I know that we're in some really challenging times, and I also know that we're going to get through it. So now is not the time to rest. Now is not time to lay down your sword and let somebody else take over. Now is the time. This is the I'd rather die standing time. Okay. Open your hearts. Be ready for anything. And when you're right with God and you're right with self, you will be ready for anything. So have faith in that and trust that. While things sound a little overwhelming, right? Trust, believe, love, faith, truth, right relationship with self, right relationship with God. And we're going to make it through this next few months. Okay. And I'll pop back on because I guess, see, this is part of my instructions. So I'm just going to follow it. So I'm sending you guys so much love. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. And perhaps we'll see you again this week. Bye, guys.